All right, all right, all right. Carnivore Soldier coming at you live from Austin, Texas on our second Hump Day live stream. That's right, we made it through another week, and this is live stream number 2. It's day 170 of Carnivore for me and day 45 of Lion Diet. And the only easy day was yesterday. Actually, it does get a lot easier. It's not that hard. So welcome to the Hump Day chat. I've got a pretty good announcement coming a little later. But before that, some of the things I wanted to do is first review kind of what we did last week. We talked about, the starter kit on carnivore, things that work, the things that don't in the beginning. We talked a little about the food pyramid, the carnivore food pyramid. I did post on the bottom, you see, put a QQQ by your question. So if you have a question, pop a QQQ in it so it's easy to see in the comments. And that way we can get to it quicker, or I can get to it quicker. Also, would love to know where you guys are coming in from today. That'd be great to know. So if you guys can pop a comment in, tell me where you're watching from, that'd be fantastic. So last week we got into the meat pyramid or the food pyramid and the basic starter kit and talked about starting carnivore. And this week we're going to do what we didn't finish, which was the resilience pyramid. That's the next thing we're going to work on. So looks like I've got comments already. Montana. All right, JD. And JD told me earlier that he just bought the air fryer and did the air fryer belly bites, the pork belly bites, and they were fantastic, which I already know they are. Okay, we got Art from Utah. Welcome, Art. Good to see you. I know where Keto-Voragonian's from. It's from Oregon, obviously. We got Patricia from North Indiana. Okay. I went to Michigan State, so I've been kind of in that area before. Been through Indiana before. You got the Kasori. Okay, cool. That's nice. That's a good one. I like that one a lot. That's my favorite one. The other one goes hotter, but I like that Kasori because it's easy to clean and just super simple to use. So we're talking about air fryers, by the way. So yeah. So like I said, live stream number 2, day 170, day 45. If you have questions, pop them up. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the content I wanted to go with. Thank you for your service. Big Juice, thank you for being here and supporting me in this endeavor, because this is my new mission, right? My service for the nation is over. I'm retired. But my service to my fellow man and veteran is on point. And that is what I'm doing here. That's what I'm all about. Hello from Quebec. I have been to Quebec before. I've been Montreal, beautiful town, and or Quebec, I guess as you say. And don't hate me, like I said, because I'm a Red Wings fan, because I am a hockey fan at least, and love the original teams. Anyway, yeah. So what I wanted to talk about is the resilience pyramid. So resilience is super important in this endeavor, because resilience is getting up when you get knocked down, and that's going to happen, right? So we're gonna start this endeavor. We're gonna start this carnivore thing, and life's going to throw something in our path. It could be your friend bringing you birthday cake and expecting you to eat it, or going to a potluck luncheon and you're hungry and all this food looks amazing, and you're just going to fall off and you're going to eat something bad, or you just break to a craving and stop in a gas station and eat something terrible. That's going to happen to everyone at one point or another. You're going to have bad cravings, especially the first 4 to 6 weeks. Expect them, fight them, but it's not about falling off the horse. It's about what happens after you did that. So if you watch Rocky, one of my favorite movies, the original, he keeps getting up after Apollo Creed knocks him down over and over and over. And the fact that he keeps getting up, that is resilience, right? And that's what you have to build. Resilience can't be read. You can't learn it from this slide deck. I mean, I can show it to you, but the only way to develop resilience is putting the reps in. So resilience happens when you get knocked off and you get back up, you pop back up. So how do you develop it though? What do you have to do? It's not just something that just happens. You become a resilient person by practicing certain things. So the resilience pyramid starts with purpose. And this is something I talk about a lot, which is developing your why. If your why is only losing 15 pounds, not going to work. That's why you failed every diet up to this point in your life, because that was your why. And not only was the diet not effective, but your why wasn't strong enough to stick to it, right? Because 15 pounds, whatever, that can fluctuate back and forth. That can be a goal, but it's not your why. Your why has to be big. So make your why something like my why is I saw my dad getting older and struggling with health. And I saw my mom died young 10 years ago, or not even 10 years ago, it's 2017. But if I were to go down the path my mom went down, I would be dead in 10 years from now. And that's not going to happen. That was my why. And also, I have a son who's 14. He's amazing. I love doing things with him and being with him. And I want to be around as long as I can and not be a burden for him. That's a big why, right? So that will help me get through my battles. And that's the kind of why you have to find. You have to find a real why. So that's your purpose, right? And then, of course, my other purpose is this mission. So hello from Hargill, Texas, 23. All right. Day 23. Welcome, Isabelle. That's awesome. Day 23. You're just getting to the point where it's going to start getting a little easier. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a train. I guarantee it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It will get easier. So I have a video from day 30 to 60. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's another good one. And I'm going to be publishing a day 60 to 90 video this weekend. So that should get your first 3 months in. And once you get that done, your training's in place. You're setting, if you've done it right, you set new habits that are becoming your character after 90 days. And that's when you can really just kind of get into an autopilot mode because you have routines now that are carnivore routines, right? Instead of the routine of going to the donut shop every Sunday, like my son and I used to do, have the new routine. Could be just skipping breakfast because you're not hungry and eating burgers patties for lunch or something. Whatever it is, you'll have new routines and they'll be healthy routines. All right. QQQ. Have you done? Okay. Yes. So here's what happened, Art. When I started Carnivores March, and I go to the VA for my healthcare because I'm retired and disabled. And at the VA, I had my annual and basically my checkup with my doctor, right? So and I went there, and that was day 24, 25 in carnivore. So I was pretty excited because I had gone from 280 to 265 in the first 24 days, and I was feeling amazing. So I just wanted to see, I knew they were going to do my blood work, right? And I wanted to see what it was going to be. So I went in, my blood work was pretty good. I was definitely pre-hypertension, and I was like on the cusp of being really in trouble at 280. I could feel it in my body. But when I went back in 24 days later and I was 265, I was, my all my labs were normal, but pretty close to being, they're borderline, right? So I knew that luckily I had already taken initiative. So I wasn't on any meds or anything, but all my labs were within the standard, but a lot of them were borderline. So I told the doctor, hey, and you know how VA, I don't know if you know how VA doctors are, but I told her, I said, hey, I'm doing the carnivore diet and I'm not eating any plants or any carbs, just meat and some dairy. And she's like, well, she got the deer in the headlight look like, I don't know about that. And I said, well, that's what I'm doing. So it's working for me. So that's what I'm doing. She said she agreed that was working, but she wanted to schedule me for labs 90 days later, which was perfect. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a gift. I get to go back and get labs again and compare, my first 24 days to 90 days later. So 90 days later comes by, and this time I'm over 100 days in, which is great. I'm not 265 anymore. I'm 240. I think I was 245, around 244, and I'm feeling amazing. Going to get my labs done, and when I met with her, and we did a virtual one, I didn't have to go in, but we did it over the phone. And she's like, well, I was going to suggest some meds because you were, borderline and some stuff. But she said everything corrected and all looked wonderful, except your thyroid is a little low, but it's not low enough to get meds. So we'll just monitor that. And I was like, fantastic. Sounds great to me. So yeah, my blood work improved throughout. And I did get those two blood work tests done from day 24 and then day 90, and was able to compare them to the year before. Now, the year before, I wasn't 280 though when I went in. I'd gotten worse. My health was definitely on a downward spiral when I when I went in for the next one. So I was glad I got into that. Let's see. Speaking on why are you guys on the carnivore diet? I'd like to know your why, because I kind of shared my why. Just if you want to, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and pop in and tell me why you're on it. You don't have to, but so yeah, developing your purpose, totally a big thing to do. It's got to be your number one thing. It's got to be bigger than just losing 15 pounds. It's got to be something you'll stick with. 4 weeks and love it. Okay, Art, good. Hey, man, stick to it. I've got a good announcement for you guys that are within the first 90 days. It's coming up. The announcement will be like after I get through this pyramid, or probably 15, 20 minutes from now. So the next thing is making meaning in your life, right? So the first one, get your purpose. We got that. The next one, you make meaning. So expressing gratitude, that it's really easy to get negative in this world. It's really easy to watch too much news. I don't even watch news anymore other than weather. I really just turn it off because it's so negative all the time, all politics, everything I don't want it in my life. So I really protect my mind and stay positive, and then I can be gracious, have gratitude. Let's see, my goal. Here we go. Reverse type 2 diabetes. Oh, great. And losing 20 pounds. That's fantastic. Yeah. The weight is just going to come off. The type 2 diabetes, that's a real goal. I mean, that's great. That's a why, right? Why is you want to have a great life, a quality of life. You don't want to be a diabetic and be on those drugs. I have friends that are on them. I know they're not fun. So expressing gratitude is what I would recommend. If you don't do this and you're not in the habit of being gracious, you don't feel like you have a lot going on in your life. In the morning, tomorrow, just take a minute and write down 3 things you're grateful for in your life. It could be, hey, I'm grateful for my dog. I'm grateful I live in America. I'm grateful I have food on the table, whatever. Because I can tell you, I've been around the world and I've been in places where people are grateful and they have far less than we have. And it's not just about material things. It can be about family, everything else. I'm grateful for my dad being alive, But write down 3 things you're grateful for and do that every day this week. Just try that. That's part of practicing gratitude. And that's part of being resilient, because when you're gracious, when you actually have that positive attitude, you start becoming a glass half full person. And that helps you get through the bad times, which are going to come. I guarantee you. And it's not just carnivore. This resilience is good for anything in life, because you're going to run into all kinds of problems in life. You're going to want to quit. You're going to feel sorry for yourself. Sometimes you will quit. This is what gets you out of that. Okay. So the next thing is lend your strengths. So everyone has strengths. Everyone has gifts. Go out and proactively offer them to others. And that will also take your mind off yourself and your bad situation, whether it's volunteering or just helping someone that needs help, whatever you run into. Just try to be proactive and lend your strengths to others when possible. If you see an opportunity, take it, right? If you see someone that's struggling, then help them out. Making meaning in your life also, it means exploring spirituality. So I'm a Christian. I became a Christian late in life, but I do believe in a creator. I think you need to have some kind of link to something bigger than yourself. And that really helps you get through rough times, and if whatever you want to believe in, you can believe in, obviously, freedom of choice. You can meditate, you can pray, read scripture, whatever you want, but definitely link on to something bigger than yourself that helps you. Trust me. There was a group of political prisoners in Cuba when Castro took over, and they called them the plantados ones. And plantados means like planted, like a tree, right? And all the other Cuban political refugees or prisoners did the re-education and did the hard labor and got out. And these guys stayed in for 20 plus years. They were hardcore. The one thing they all had was faith in a higher power. They were mostly Christian, I believe, but they leaned on that, and they stayed in based on their principles of what they knew to be right. So it does make a difference to have some kind of faith in your life. Okay, practicing mindfulness. Now, this is important because mindfulness means living in the present time, right? And this is a very stoic thing. If you know about stoicism, you understand it. If you don't, look into stoicism. It's very interesting. It's living in the present, which means not regretting your past. Because if you spend a lot of time regretting your past, it can't be changed. There's nothing to do about it. So just let it go and not worrying about your future, because worrying about your future is really not changing anything either. Act on the current things that are in front of you right now, and try to, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're worrying about the future, right? So write down a list of things to do today that can improve your situation. That is what you need to do. That's mindfulness. And it also means just being present in conversations, whatever. And, being present around people that are with you off the screen. I see people on cell phones all the time. Get an elevator now, no one looks or talks at anybody. It's kind of crazy. I grew up in a different era, so we didn't have this. Practicing mindfulness is a big deal. That's part of it. So the next one would be learning from your mistakes. So mistakes offer opportunities, right? So you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fall off, but let's not just regret them. Let's turn them into learning opportunities. What happened? Kind of lean into it a little bit. Say, okay, I did eat some cake at this birthday party. I did. And we're using carnivore mistakes, but it could be any mistake in your life. What led up to that? What could I have done differently? And how am I going to react to that? Right. So am I going to lay around and feel and go on a binge now and feel like a loser, like I quit another diet or whatever? Or am I just going to learn from that? Okay, next time I go to a birthday party, I'm going to eat first, so I'm not hungry when I get there, and I'll have an easier time maybe resisting when they offer cake. And I'll have a story like, hey, I'm zero carb diet. Sorry, I can't eat that. And most people, if you tell them that, they're like, okay, cool. If you say carnivore, it sounds kind of crazy, but if you just say zero carb, people just kind of get that because they know about keto and stuff, right? Or you can even say low carb, because you are eating some carbohydrates when you eat meat, right? So learn from your mistakes, make them opportunities, to learn. And the next thing is adaptive growth mindset. So this is, again, when you look at adversity, look at things ahead of you and look at them as opportunities. So when you start carnivore, you could look at your first 30 days as an opportunity, your next 30 days as an opportunity. And the opportunity it gives you is how to hone your skills to navigate these issues, right? Because that's what we're all doing. We're all making our new habits. Oh, that's my dog alerting. Sorry, guys. If you can hear that, that's Duke. He sounds pretty ferocious, but he's actually a big teddy bear. So, and he's big. He's 130 pounds and sounds really ferocious. So anyway, so yeah, the growth mindset is a big deal. And that is turning those adversities in front of you into learning experiences and opportunities to succeed and fail. And, like I said, resilience is getting back up after you fail. So you're going to fail. That's an opportunity to pop up. That's an opportunity not to sulk and feel sorry for yourself and, fail basically and quit. That's your opportunity. So this is your chance to shine. The next thing I would say, let's see, let me put a banner up. The next thing would be connect with others. So this is the battle buddy concept. You're here now. This is part of it. You're part of this group. You're in a community, which is great. And this is where you can connect with others. You can go to a Facebook group. I have a new Facebook group, the Carnivore Diet Exchange, where it's just an exchange of ideas and recipes and everything. I've got a Discord server. You've got YouTube. You can comment. Those are all people. I love that other people comment on people's questions and statements. I love to watch other people comment, not just me, which is fantastic because I learn from that too. So this is the deal. In the group, you're going to get connected. You're going to find a battle buddy or a few of them that you can share your successes, your failures, and how you pop back up. And, it's necessary for a resilient person to have a team to actually share your success. When you have a great day and you did something amazing and accomplished it, you want to share it with people, with friends, right? If you had a bad day, you want to do that too. Hold on a second. Duke, go lay down. Go on. Duke is just being bad right now. Sorry, guys. So connecting with others. The next thing is use resources. The resources we have at our fingertips are amazing. We have YouTube, a lot of content creators out there. Make sure you like and subscribe this video, but also others, because that gets their message out. And that's super huge. The more you like and subscribe content creators and not just watch them, watching them is great. But liking and subscribing gets that content served up to other people in their menu when they're searching for how to lose weight or how to get, how to defeat type 2 diabetes without pills that kind of stuff. So it's really important that we actually do proactively like and subscribe other content creators. And that's a great resource. There's also books. The doctors, of course, I don't have to name them all. You know, Berg and Chafee and all these guys, Baker, they're all great. So they're huge resources as well. Epic. Next is have fun. So yeah, having a fun time. This shouldn't be this diet shouldn't be something you don't want to do. Hold on, we got some comments here. Let's see. Hi, Duke. I'm gonna go into thanks, Patricia. He said hi back. He's sitting right there looking at me, giving me the guilty want to go out and play look. Keto Voragonian. She wants to serve better in her church, nursery, and youth group, teaching small Bible study. Great. Need stamina, brain clarity, and strength. Yeah, we all need that. And that's great. That's a good why. That's a big one. Yeah, less fun. Okay. And then we have another comment. Totally agree. Carnivore community is helpful. Love the support. It is a very positive community. I'm super happy to be in this community. One of the best communities I've ever been in. And we've got, let's see, playing content all the way through helps the YouTube algorithm also. Yeah. So another thing you can do is if you find a creator that's putting out a lot of good content, go ahead and play it through and don't turn the volume down on it doesn't count if you turn the volume down, by the way. I think I was reading about that. The YouTube algorithm doesn't count. So you can turn it low, but not all the way muted. You can mute your computer and it doesn't matter, I believe. But anyway, so go ahead. There we go. Go Jesus. There you go. That's your spirituality link right there, right? So good job, JD. That's a good link for you. So yeah, playing the content all the way through is fantastic. It helps the algorithm, so you can watch other people's videos and watch it to the end. That really helps. All right, back to what we were talking about. Having fun. Yeah, this should be a fun thing. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. There's bad days, there's good days, but overall, this is a fun community. It is. I'm looking forward to doing some local meetups here in the Austin area. So people around here, great. And I'm also looking forward to KetoCon next year in Austin in the summer, where all the great carnivores go. And keto is actually kind of skewing carnivore these days. If you've been watching, I've been checking it out. A lot of them are recognizing that plants are not so bueno, you know. So anyway, the meats are superior food, and so they're kind of going more meat heavy, which is great. So I'm looking forward to that. The other thing is connect with nature. Okay, so this is a big one. I get out in the morning and walk Duke, and I take him for a walk barefoot, usually with no sunglasses on, watching the sunrise. I like that around my neighborhood, just on the sidewalk. And I've been reading about grounding. I don't know how much there is to it, but there are some studies, which I don't trust all studies or anything, but that do point towards it being healthy. All I do know is that when we were created, we were barefoot, and all animals are naturally barefoot. Duke's barefoot every day when he walks. So getting a little barefoot allows me to connect with nature, and also going on my rucks. Now I wear shoes and boots, and when I wear my vest and ruck. But around the neighborhood where it's concrete, I feel pretty safe walking barefoot, and I do like doing that in the morning. It's also toughening my feet up a little bit. And actually, Socrates was one of the wisest men ever to walk the earth, and he was known as the barefoot philosopher. And he always walked barefoot, and he said that walking barefoot stimulates your brain. So who am I to argue with him? Okay, so connecting with nature is a big deal. Also getting sunlight, big deal. I think, you know, we're meant to be in the sunlight, and getting sunlight gets your vitamin D up. It's just good for your body. It feels good, right? When you're out in the sun, when you're working or just sitting in the sun, it just feels good for sure. Next is breathe. Not sure about this one. This is not my slide deck. So, I mean, I borrowed this. So breathing, I guess, you know, I would say breathing means take a moment and don't always feel rushed. Don't always feel like you're going from one place to the next. Take a moment and breathe and relax, and you need to guard your downtime. So if you're in a downtime situation where you're praying, you're meditating, whatever, definitely guard your time and protect your time. Try not to be answering work emails all day and all night. And I know it's hard to do because we have these dang phones. I tell you, I miss the 80s when we had weekends off, they were off, man. I mean, even when, even in the military, if they couldn't find you and the unit got activated, they would pull other people from other units and leave you behind, because if you weren't at home, you weren't not to be found back then. It was nice. So breathe. Fuel your body. Of course, this is a carnivore diet, so fueling your body 100%. We fuel our body with meat and fats, and we know how this is the best way to fuel your body. So this is setting you up for success in the carnivore diet. Okay, some grounding information. I've done some grounding, given me much energy. Have learned to do it in the morning to early afternoon. Otherwise, I can't sleep at night. Too much energy. It's a game changer. I agree. I like it in the morning. It does set my tone or set my clock for the day. I just feel really good on it. So I agree that the grounding has made a difference for me. I mean, I don't know. I don't even really call it grounding. Walking barefoot, does something for me. So I would suggest trying it, even if you're just walking barefoot on your grass. If you don't have paved roads or, anywhere you can walk safely, you can walk out in your grass when you're watering or doing things. Try to go barefoot a little bit. It feels good and it's natural. So, all right, we got Keto Voragonian. I will get that name at one point. I love my job. Weekends and evenings are mine. That's great. Oh, new question. Add liver to your diet. Sorry for getting off track. No problem, Art. I don't. Although a company, and I forget their name, but they just sent me an email, and they're sending me a free sample to test of bison liver chips. Now, I'm not a huge liver fan, and you don't need to eat liver. You don't need to eat the organs to be successful, because Dr. Chafee's been on this for over 10 years and doesn't eat any, right? If you like liver, great, you can eat it. Don't eat too much, because you got to look at the size of the organ to the size of the animal and figure that if, humans were eating that food, they would eat a very small portion of liver compared to the fat and the lean meat. So, and there is a possibility to get, I think it's vitamin B poisoning if you eat too much liver. Anyway, so there is a poisoning factor. If you just eat too much liver, you can get that. So, but these are liver crisps, and apparently a bag's supposed to last a week. For me, it probably will, because I won't be just chowing on it, but I might have one as a snack every now and then just to see how it works and how it makes me feel. Because that's what I'm really doing. I'm kind of dialing in my body now. I'm 170 days into this thing. I'm cruising. I'm on cruise control. And now I'm really just like fine tuning things, adding and removing things. I went lion diet 45 days ago, cutting out dairy and alcohol. And, iodine. Cool. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Cutting out dairy and alcohol, and it really improved my body performance. Now, I have reintroduced a little dairy, and the only dairy I do have on a regular basis is butter, but I might be dialing that back too, because I only put butter on my meat because I just love the way it tastes, which, buttery meat's fantastic. Okay, iodine. Yes, I add 2 drops of iodine to my water almost every day, and I got this from Dr. Barry. He has a great video. I would Google it if I were you, on YouTube, or just YouTube search Dr. Barry iodine. You can see he's got several videos on it. It does, a lot of people are iodine deficient and just don't know it. And he goes through it in detail, talks about all kinds of effects it can have. It can mimic a thyroid condition if you don't have enough iodine. And you can't really overdo iodine. So what you do is, I do 2 drops, not droppers, 2 drops, dip, just 2 drops into a bottle of like Topo Chico, a bubbly drink. You don't even taste it if it's in that. If it's in still water, you taste it. But it's good. I mean, it's not going to hurt my body if I'm not iodine deficient. And your iodine usually comes from the animals that are grazing that you eat. That's how you get iodine naturally. So the problem is, you don't know where your meat came from, right? If you're not eating a lot of fish, you're probably not getting that much. The coastal areas is where most of the iodine is in the soil. So it goes into the plants. The cow eats the plant. The iodine goes in the meat, and then you get some iodine. So adding iodine to your diet is always a good idea, I think. And I have a link for that on carnivoresoldier.com. And you can buy it there. It's just an Amazon link. It doesn't cost you any more. It just kicks a little bit of reference to me, a referral to me for you doing that. Let's see. I'm putting up a video right now on liver. Oh, great. See, I don't like liver. I've never been a liver eater, not fried, not anyway, just never. I've had it because my parents made me try it. Chicken gizzards, liver. I don't like that stuff. No, thanks. But I'm going to try these chips because they're salted and they're bison. And I'm like, well, maybe, maybe. And also my palate has changed since I've gone carnivore. I have not tried liver since I went carnivore, so I might actually like it. And that's another thing. You keep an open mind when you're in carnivore, because things will change and your attitudes will change and your taste buds will change. A lot of things are going to change in this way of life. So, okay, let's get back to, carnivoresoldier.com does have links to my Amazon affiliate stuff. So if you want to know what air fryers I use, what frying pans, all that stuff, I've got some great gear on there. And then supplements like the basically iodine, salt, magnesium, that kind of stuff. Okay, fuel your body. We got that. Move your body. Okay, so when I started this thing, I didn't even like hiking. I didn't like walking the dog. It was like a chore. I like being with Duke. It was just always like a chore to get up and do stuff. And put the leak up to liver chips. Oh yeah. So, okay. So Art, as soon as I try the liver chips, I don't know if I'm going to like them. I'll give my honest review on there and I'll post a link up. But I wanted to, before I actually put the link up, I got to actually try them and see if they're good, right? I'm going to look at the ingredients. I'm going to investigate the company a little bit. It just happened today, so they're shipping it to me. So probably next Wednesday I might talk about it, which would be cool. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to banners. So yeah, I will look at putting that on there. So move your body. So now I get up and I feel like going and doing stuff. In fact, the other day I was talking about this. I was doing wind sprints up a hill, and just because I felt energy and wanted to do it in the middle of the afternoon, which is totally crazy because that's what I used to do when I was in college. And I don't do it. I haven't done it as an adult. I haven't chose to do it, unless I was in a military school and they're making us run uphill. But this is a hill I wouldn't even normally have walked up 6 months ago. I had no interest in walking uphill. And so you're going to get energy. I recommend you use that energy to move your body. And it doesn't have to be wind sprints. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. Just walk. Get out and walk. Get some sun. Connect with nature. Walk. If you can find a trail with green around you and everything, and do that kind of walk. If you're going to walk around the block, walk around the block. But make it a habit. Start building these habits, right, that define your character. And you're just going to have that energy. Don't sit around. If you got that energy, go do something. And the last one is get good sleep. So that was one that was hard for me, and still sometimes is, but try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because that really helps your body lose fat and heal. And it's an amazing part of the healing process. For me, I would get up, I'd go to bed at 10 and get up at 4 or 3. And once I was up, I just go. Now I get up. If I get up at 2 or 3, go to the bathroom, because you pee a lot when you have carnivore. I don't pee as much as I did in the beginning. I still pee sometimes at night though. So I get back to bed and I fall back asleep, which is great, and try to sleep in until Duke wakes me up for breakfast, which I can't fight that one. That's going to happen between 5 and 5:30 every morning. So he's conditioned. He knows his habits, and I go to those. But I also try to take a nap in the middle of the day. 20 minutes is all I need, and that is amazing refreshment. I took one today. It was great. We called him in the Army when I became a warrant officer. I called it getting a woman, and a woman was a warrant officer mid-afternoon nap. So I tell the troops I'm going to get a woman, and I come back feeling great. Like, nothing makes you feel great like that. Okay, LMNT. I didn't like it because it tastes salty. Even a small amount, I hate it. Do we need electrolytes? Yes, you need electrolytes, especially in the beginning, because you're losing all this fluid, right? Water is coming out of your body as a result of a couple of things. One, when your fat cells start breaking down, they're holding water, and that goes out of you. And also your inflammation, when you start getting less inflamed, you're going to release a lot of water. So your body's just dumping a ton of water. That's why you pee so much on this diet in the beginning. And along with that water go all your electrolytes. So that gives you the keto flu. It makes it worse. I mean, you're going to get the keto flu anyway because you're addicted to carbohydrates. But it does make it worse, and electrolytes make it feel better. Now, if you don't just like the salt flavor, I've done LMNT once. I think there's also Relight, which I've done, which is another company that's kind of salty too. Relight is Redmond. You can just put regular Redmond salt in your drink. And actually, one of the ways to have salt that's a good way is get bone broth, pour it in a cup, heat it up like coffee, put some Redmond salt in there and some butter and stir it up. And, beef broth's supposed to be salty, right? So then it tastes good. It doesn't taste like salty water. So that's a good cheat you can do to get that salt you need. But you do need it. And you also need probably some magnesium because that's going out of your body really quick. Another thing you can do is drink mineral water. And whether it's still water or bubbly, I drink Liquid Death, which is still mineral water from the Alps. And I drink Topo Chico, which is a bubbly mineral water from Mexico. And those have a lot of the minerals you need. Okay. Another question. Or no, see, just order some iodine from your site link. Great. There you go. That's the one. That's the one Dr. Barry recommends. That's one I use. It's a good one. So you only need 2 drops per day. You can put it in coffee or a hot drink and you won't taste it, or you put it in bubbly drink. All right. There we go. Yep. Thanks. Okay. Couple of droppers. No, not droppers. It should be drops, like 2 drips. Dip, dip, like little drops, not whole droppers. You don't need that much. You can do it. It's not going to hurt you, but it's a waste. You don't need that much. Dr. Barry goes into it. Yeah. Each time I fill it. Okay, good. Yeah. So just 2 drops, like dip, dip. That's it. Not 2 droppers. Don't squeeze the whole thing in there. You don't need that much. Okay. So getting good sleep, huge. Okay. So that you guys made it. That's through the whole building resilience. That's how you build resilience. Those are things you need to do. So I'll be putting together probably like a workbook on how to do this later and offer it on my website. And speaking of workbooks, that's the big announcement, guys. You made it to this part. Got another comment. Let's see. Thank you for the keto chow drops. Oh, that's for the keto chow drops. Okay. So I have started. Last time we talked about planning a lot. I've talked about planning in my videos, and a lot of people commented, "Hey, I'm not a big planner." And actually, I talked to Dante Fregno. I got to chat with him for like an hour last week, which is great. And he said, "Yeah, a lot of people just aren't planners. They don't know how to plan. They're not sure why they need to plan, all kinds of stuff." So I built a workbook for planning for carnivore for the first 90 days. And I published it and I put it up on my website, and I'm going to go over it with you guys really quick. It's like 18 pages, not really huge, but what it does, it walks you through all the steps of how to plan for carnivore diet. So even if you're a couple weeks into it, this is applicable to you. And I basically put it up for free. I mean, it's $1. You can, I suggest $5, but you can buy it for whatever you think it's worth, down to $1. The only reason I didn't do it completely free is because the site requires it to be at least $1. So these are only $1. I'm going to go ahead and share that now. Okay, so this is the carnivore planning guide, using a lot of the planning that I learned out in the military, planning, structure. So, first off, I go into, let me zoom out a little bit. Why you need a plan. I'll go full page on this. How about that? Is that better? That's a little better. Why you need a plan. And I talk about that. This is a lot of the stuff that I've talked about in my talks, but you don't have to go searching a YouTube video, because it's over like 4 or 5 videos that I talk about this stuff. So this is all consolidated in one place. So why you need a plan, what's important about it, how's a plan going to help you do this, and then finding your why. We talked about that a little bit here. This is going to help you find your why. And this is the actual workbook. Like what's your why look like the first year, the next 2 to 5 years, and 6 to 10. These are your big whys of why you would want to have a plan, right? Why you would not want to quit, or you'd want to get up back on that horse and you get knocked off. Okay. Thank you, Carnivore. Thank you, Patricia. No problem. Okay. Setting goals. A lot of people don't know how to do that either. So this is, once you have your why, then you can set your goals. So I've actually put a few goals in here just for an example, but you can put your goals in underneath it. Like first 30 days, I have eat a clean carnivore diet. The 60 days is fit into some of my old clothing again that's in your closet, because everyone wants that, right? And then maybe the 90 days is get off some medications, right? So this is just some goals. You can add more, and I recommend you customize this and put your own goals in. Okay. Is it possible to undereat? Yes. I eat so little, and I'm a type 2 diabetic, no meds yet. I scare myself thinking I will do damage to my body. So, yes. How many days are you into this? Remind me. Oh, you're 20, 21 or 23 or something. Okay. So, here's what happened when you were eating the standard American diet. Your hunger signals were broken radically. You were always hungry. You're always snacking. And that's not normal. That's not normal. And now that I've been 170 days, I can tell you I have normal hunger signals now. I get hungry maybe once or twice a day, and that's it. And a lot of the signals aren't even hunger; they're actually emotional snacking signals. So you have to start relearning your hunger signals, and the hunger signals are much more nuanced. Now, when you first begin, the first 30 days, you want to make sure you try to eat pretty regularly. You don't want to do fasting. You don't introduce fasting in the beginning of a carnivore diet. There's some problems with it. One of the problems is your body can think it's starving and go into a hold the fat mode where it tries to keep the fat there because it thinks might not be a meal coming soon. So it's better to actually eat multiple meals during the day, small even if, and just make sure they're fatty, and eat your meals during the day, and eat some carnivore snacks, which, bacon or whatever you want to do. Those are good. So anyway, yeah, it's easy to undereat. So you definitely need to try to eat a couple meals a day and listen to your body. If you don't feel hungry, try some food and see if it tastes good. If it tastes good, continue to eat until it stops tasting good. So I'm not saying eat on a schedule, but don't be doing OMAD on your first 30 days. I don't think you need to actually start eating, and that'll definitely help you. But anyway. Also, you're 6 days on. Okay, yeah, for sure. You're just starting. So, and also, make sure you check with your doctor if you're type 2 diabetic. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to just make sure that, and if you have a doctor that's, that understands carnivore, great. If you don't, you might want to find one that does. I don't know how the Canadian healthcare system works, and you are in Montreal, correct? Or Quebec, not Montreal. So, but anyway, definitely try to find, if you can find, or just look at, videos with Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry's he's legend. He has so many videos out there. You can Google or actually YouTube search Dr. Barry type 2 diabetes carnivore, and he has tons of videos. So 3 slices of bacon. Okay. So chicken thighs are not bad. And the bacon's not bad, but I would definitely lean towards ruminant meats to get the best results the fastest. So instead of chicken thighs, if you can afford it, ground beef is the way to go. It's got the perfect amount of protein to fat ratio, especially if you get fattier cuts, which is cheaper, which is great. The 70-30 ground beef, it's really good. And that's the optimum food, because ruminant animals have multi-chambered stomachs. So they break down the veg much better, and the protein and the fats are superior quality for a human to eat. The chicken still has a higher linoleic acid too, and omega-6, and so does pork. Beef has the lowest. Not just beef, any ruminant animal. So it could be, elk or bison, whatever. Those are all excellent. So you just want to get the optimum fuel to optimize your body's reaction to this diet. And the optimum fuel is going to be beef. And then you can do egg yolks. Egg yolks are great. They actually have a lot of the same things we're looking for in organ meat. So if you're not doing organ meat, you can eat some egg yolks, and it'll help. All right. Full for the day after. Yeah, that's probably not enough. I mean, I don't know what your normally in your normal body weight and everything. I don't know anything about you. So I can't tell you that. I would just say you should eat multiple times a day. So try to eat again and see if you can eat. If the food tastes bad, then obviously don't. But I would definitely, and lean towards the fattier ruminant meats if you can, the beef or the lamb, right? Okay, so back to my presentation here. We have assess your progress. So this is an assessment. So I have a day 1 progress check. You might already be past this, but it can be whatever day you started on, where you check out your physical and emotional state. And then a day 30, so you can put the date that it happened, and you can compare how your progress is going. Because I didn't do this, and I wish I would have. I wish I would have had a little assessment to track. So now I look back, it's like, was that day 30 or day 60? When was I feeling this? And this is a good way to track it so you can kind of look back in your progress, and it'll help build your confidence too, because look what you've gone through. Look how much you've improved in your physical and mental, emotional state. And then planning ahead. This is helping like when you have holidays coming up, which we do have coming up, birthday parties, luncheons at work, whatever, going on a date. You know, these are things where people slip typically. I know I've gone on dates and it's like, I definitely want tortilla, or so I'll go to a Mexican restaurant and I can't eat chips. I can't have tortilla, you know, so I don't like going out too often. One, it's expensive. Two, it's not my kind of carnivore. I like to make my own food. I don't know if it has seed oils in it. And then I have like a checklist. That's me from back in the day when I was, gosh, I was about 240 pounds back then. I'm lighter now. I'm 236. So that was when I was a buck sergeant back in like, I think 04, 05. So a little checklist you can make of your new habits you want to make. And this is just an example. You can make your own checklists of setting your daily habits you want to incorporate in your life. And these are the habits that become your character going forward, right? So these are, and then there's actions you're going to take. So actions become habits, right? So this is like setting up some actions that are going to set you up for success when you do this. And then you got some notes and a little thing about me. So that's all there is to it. It's nothing super huge, but I just wanted to share, and that's actually on my website. Let's see if I can bring that up. So if you go to my website, let's see. There it is, Carnivore Soldier. Let me share that. Oops, I got to share a different window. Sorry. I'm so new to this. Let's see. Share slides. No. Oh, present. Here we go. Man, how do I do this? Present. Stop screen. Oh, I know what it is. Huh. Maybe I don't know what it is. Okay. Present. File. Gosh, I don't know. Your computer. Oh, that's not it. That's slides. Oh, share screen. There it is. Jeez. All right. Okay, so now you can see my website. So if you go to my website, you can see that right here is where you can download that if you want to get a copy, and you can share them. I don't care. I mean, it's only $1. No big deal. If you want to share it with other people, that's great. I really just want people to get it and have access to it, because I think some people might benefit from planning some things out. And I know we talked about planning before. All right, Linda, you're welcome. Thanks for that. So I know we talked about planning before, and you know, it really helps you when you are going into the holidays to have a plan before you get to the family's house, or the family comes to your house, of how you're going to handle situations. And situations are going to come up, and also help you get resilient, because you're going to start developing these habits, right? And that's so important in this process. So anyway, that's all I had so far. What I was thinking of doing. Does anyone else have any more questions? Because I'm open for questions. I got that. Let's see where you watched from. How long have you been a carnivore? Got that. Why? We got that. Okay, so we have all that done. So that's basically all I had to talk about. The new guide I'm making. I'm going to make a guide for resilience too. How to build your resilience. So all those points that I walk through, I'm going to basically make like a little guide on becoming resilient, things you can do to proactively become a resilient person and get up when you get knocked down, that kind of stuff. So I think that's all I had. Is if no one else has any questions, we can go ahead and jump off. I really appreciate you guys being here, though. It means a lot. You know, starting out a YouTube channel is really hard, and you don't know even who you're talking to. Let's see. Hi. Hey, Pure Bride. Welcome back. How you doing? Good to see you again. Yeah, so we just talked, Pure Bride, we just talked about the resilience pyramid, how to become a resilient person. So definitely check it out from the beginning. And thank you so much. Yeah, it's really hard to start a YouTube channel because A, I've never been in front of a camera before doing this stuff, and B, it's just all alien to me. I'm sure I'll get more and more comfortable as we go. My videos will get better, my presentation will get better, my live chat Q&As will get better, all that kind of stuff. But if anyone else has any more questions, I'd be glad to answer them. And that's about all I have, though. Let's see. Thank you again. Great job. Oh, I'm glad you think my channel is encouraging and motivating, because that's kind of my gig. I like to encourage people and motivate them. When I was a military leader, I was a platoon leader for years, and I loved that. I loved having my platoon, and it's really rare for a chief warrant officer to be a platoon leader. But I was so blessed to be a platoon leader and have these soldiers with me for 2 years. And when they took my platoon away and promoted me basically to division headquarters, it was a sad day, because when I was at division headquarters, I moved from being an encourager and a leader and a motivator to becoming a technical expert, analyst, planner, right? Which I'm good at. I'm good at planning, which is why I did the plan guide. But it really changed my whole military career so much that I was a PowerPoint commando, just doing PowerPoints and making presentations and doing plans. And it got really old. So I was kind of happy to retire, actually. I was no longer in the field, no longer active so much with the troops, running a gun with my guys. And, I just didn't like it as much. Okay, we got another message. Thank you again. Great job. Oh, thanks, Patricia. I appreciate that. Ketovorgonian. That looks like a great resource. Your web site is elegant. Nice job. Well, simple, elegant. That's kind of the same thing. So yeah, my website looks like this. That's where you can get the guide. Here I just have about me, which is very, very simple. Not a whole lot. And then I have, these are my Amazon links for anything I use: carnivore foods, health, books that I've read, appliances, and carnivore kitchen cookware. I will never put anything on my website that I haven't tested and used. So if I taste these liver chips and they're not for me, if I think they're bad, they're not going on here. If I think they're good and maybe not for me because I don't like liver, that's a different thing. But if I don't like them and don't think they're a great resource, I won't. Let's see. My name is Jeannie. Oh, great. Good to see you, Jeannie. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. Okay. And then I have a merchandise shop, and I have these really cool shirts that you guys can order, or sweatshirts or hoodies, all kinds of stuff, shopping bags, coffee mugs, but we don't drink coffee, hopefully. But if you do, it's okay. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, but you can also drink beef bone broth in my coffee mugs. So lots of good stuff here. They have a cool logo, 100% carnivore, resilient warrior. And that's what you guys all are. You're my warriors. You're my new platoon. Okay. So you're my new guys and gals, and I'm going to be motivating and inspiring and supporting. And you're my resilient warriors. And that's what the goal is here, to get everyone to be resilient warriors, so you can go off on your own careers and help others become resilient warriors, right? That's the idea. So we're here to help, we're here to motivate, and we're here to stay strong and overcome, right? That's why I always say that in my end of my things. So anyway, there's all kinds of great carnivore stuff here. So you can click on the logo you want, and you can see you have a shopping bag, and then you can do different colors, right? So you can do white or blue or whatever. That's a terrible color. We got pink shirts, we got blue shirts, whatever. And then the cups, there's the cups. They're pretty cool. So they're pretty expensive, though. I mean, I don't set the price on these things. This company just offers it. I just wanted to make sure they're available, and they're not really cheap, but they're not low quality either. So that's kind of good. So if you do want to support and wear something cool, there's like stickers that are pretty inexpensive. You can put on stuff like your laptop, that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's all I got today. If there's no more questions, let's see. Very encouraging. I've weaned off coffee. Hard task, but it's possible. Yes, I have too. But to be fair, you might want to offer V-neck. To be fair, I have introduced coffee again about 160 days in. I had a couple cups, and I noticed it really amped me up. It made me it made me feel jittery, and I didn't enjoy it, the flavor, as much as I thought I would. I think every time you cheat, this is something I've experienced, and my son experienced the same thing. When you do have a cheat meal, it's never as good as you remember it. It's just not. And the coffee was not as good as I remembered it. It didn't taste as good as I thought it would. And it was my favorite coffee too. I mean, I didn't go cheap or anything. It just wasn't satisfying. So my taste buds have definitely changed. And then I just got off that again because it's expensive. It's a habit I don't need. And it's not carnivore. V-neck shirt. Yeah, I don't know if they have those. I'll have to look and see. I don't know if they do. I'm not giving up coffee. Yeah, well, that's the way I was too in the beginning. And I did just because Dr. Chafee convinced me to. And that's another thing, a big announcement here. So I've been in touch with Dr. Chafee, and he's going to do an interview with me. So I'm going to interview him in the hopefully next month or two. We're going to get together and we're going to talk about mental health for veterans and how the carnivore diet can help them. So if you know veteran friends, especially ones that have mental health issues, anyone's been in the military for a long time probably does, send them to that video when we do it. I'll be announcing it in advance, so we'll know. But Dr. Chafee is so gracious. I mean, I'm such a tiny channel. To have such a big powerhouse on my channel for live interviews is going to be amazing. And I'm just looking forward to picking his brain about some things. I've watched him interview psychiatrists and was blown away with the results they're getting across the board in different countries even. And I know what it's done for my mental health. So I know that this way of eating can help our warriors and our veterans out there. You know, right now there's 22 a day in America taking their own lives. Totally unacceptable. And I think, you know, just beyond just having a suicide hotline, we can actually be proactive and save lives with this diet. I really think so. So that's my mission right now. It's Mission Carnivore. Okay, we got another message. Pure bride. Those are my exact words, but not no more. Best to you. Okay. I said that about Diet Coke for years, but I'm 12 days free. Yes, Diet Coke. So get rid of all artificial sweeteners. Trust me, that is the only way to get rid of the cravings. It's engineered. Those cravings are engineered by scientists. Get rid of them. Cut out all sweeteners, natural or artificial. That's the best way. All right. I get up at 2:30 in the morning. Love my coffee. Still hiking 4 miles 3 days a week. Well, yeah, you can still have coffee. So the reason Dr. Chafee talked me out of it was the recovery from my workouts. Like today I had a really hard workout. I did a chest and leg workout. And, you know, at 57, even when I was younger, I know how my body reacted. When I did a hard workout, the next day I would be sore. You know, if I did legs, I'd be really sore. And if I'm not drinking coffee, I'm never sore. If I drink coffee, I start getting sore. I start getting aches that were gone. So if you suffer from any arthritis or anything, try cutting the coffee out just to see what it does. You might get just curious, like I'm doing, like I'm starting to add things and remove things from my diet just out of curiosity because I'm tuning my body at 170 days into this thing. And that's what you're going to be able to do. So yeah, you can say I'm not getting rid of coffee. Great. Keep doing it. One way I did supplement or replace my coffee was I used bone broth, and I would heat it up in a mug and put smoked Redmond salt and butter in there and stir it and drink that as a coffee replacement. And it was really good. And that helped me because I do like the habit of having a hot drink in the morning or when friends come over for coffee, I can drink that with them while they drink tea or coffee. And I feel like I'm participating in the social thing. And that's part of your planning, right? So this is what I'm talking about. When you look at that planning guide, if you get it, planning when friends are coming over, what are you going to do? When they're going to want to have coffee, are you going to drink water? Are you going to feel odd? When you go to the movies, what are you going to do when you used to having popcorn and a Diet Coke like I was? You have to plan these things out, and you can plan and do these actions that you plan out long enough where they become your new habits, and it doesn't feel weird anymore. I go to the movies now, just to buy a bottle of water there, no snacks. I feel totally normal. The first couple months, it was so weird. I felt naked sitting there without my Coke and popcorn. I'm just used to that. Okay. PTSD plus, yes, interest indeed. Yeah. So, okay. So are you a vet, Patricia? I didn't know that. So, or just PTSD from another source. So yeah, Dr. Chafee's talk, we're going to be talking about PTSD and other things too. So ADHD, anxiety, depression. These are things we're planning on. I haven't scheduled it with him yet, but he's offered. So that's pretty awesome. That shows where his heart is too, right? Like I said, I'm a tiny YouTube channel, but he cares about veterans. And I wrote him thanking him for what he's doing and told him my story. And he said, I'd like to be on your show. I was like, wow, it's, that's awesome. I mean, I can't believe it, but it's awesome. So, all right. Coffee is different. Diet Coke has stuff in there that was messing with me. Coffee also has stuff that can mess with you, though. That's on an individual basis, not everyone, but just that's what I'm saying. Later on, when you get into this where your body's just humming along, you can tune it. You can say, you know what? Experiment time. I'm going to do 7 days without coffee and see what it does. It's not going to hurt, right? Anyone can do 7 days of anything, especially after being on this diet for a while. It's pretty easy. All right. Bulletproof coffee. Yep. So I call mine the bulletproof bone broth, and it's same concept. You can put cream in it. You put whatever you want in it. I just put Redmond smoked salt, half a teaspoon, and I put a little slice of butter, salted butter in there. I like that a lot. My aches and pains are gone since I've done carnivore. Praise Jesus. Yes, absolutely. I mean, it is the way he intended us to eat. I mean, if you're a believer like I am, then you believe God created you, and this is the way we're intended to eat. So it's pretty obvious. Our bodies just respond properly, right? And it's funny because man always wants to do their own thing. Man wants to improve on everything, and we can't, right? You cannot improve on nature. You cannot improve on what we're designed to eat in a lab, making whatever that mystery meat is. What's it called? Impossible meat. I mean, you can't do that. That's an abomination of nature is what that is. 100%. Okay. Started getting elevated blood pressure, took coffee off my list, and voila. See, I know how to say that. It's good. Now perfect blood pressure. Okay, that may be, I don't know. I'm not a doctor or anything, but all I can say is coffee has helped me with my recovery times working out. And I appreciate that being an old guy. And also a lot of my arthritic conditions, when I started drinking again, when I reintroduced it, they started flaring up. So, that until you've done a removal for a certain amount of time, like I'm 170 days in, where your body has got a new baseline. I never would have probably noticed the pains coming back because they would still been in my body if I'd drank coffee the whole time. But now that I've gone coffee free and then reintroduced it, then the flare-ups happen. So I realized, oh wow, that is an indicator, right? So that's something that you can do that with dairy too, because I don't really eat cheese anymore. I used to eat cheese in my burgers. First 60 days, 90 days, I would eat cheese. I would eat all kinds of stuff on my burgers as a condiment. I didn't eat cheese by itself too often. And I would eat Dr. Kiltz's ice cream. That was really good. If you don't know what that is, there's a good YouTube video on how to make carnivore ice cream by Dr. Kiltz using egg yolks and heavy whipping cream and a little bit of salt and a little vanilla. Anyway, that's what I did. It was really good. So if you have a Jones for ice cream, there's actually an ice cream maker I put on my affiliate page too. Let's see. I'll show you what it is. Let's see. Where's my ice cream maker? There it is. Ice cream containers. Oh, I didn't put the maker in here. Oh, I got to put the ice cream maker in here, I think. It's over here. Here it is in appliances. There we go. This is the ice cream maker, the Cuisinart. It's great. It's fantastic. Remember the old days, we used to have to freeze salt water and all this crazy stuff to make ice cream. Now it just has a gel pack centerpiece that you take out of the freezer and drop it in. Yeah, no carb ice cream. Exactly. That's what it is. But okay, so here's a caveat, right? The caveat is this: you want to limit your dairy intake on this diet because dairy can definitely stop you from losing weight. And here's what I'm talking about. I went from 280 to 250 in the first, I'd say about 100 days, and then I stayed at 250 for a long time. And now my waistline was still getting smaller, so I was putting muscle on and losing fat, but it was a much slower rate than what I had experienced before. So I thought, well, I'm going to try this Lion diet, cut out all dairy and alcohol. And I didn't drink a lot, but I drank. I mean, I had bourbon a couple times a week. And when a friend came over, I'd have some, sit around, and military guys, we'd talk, we kind of vent and drink, And so I went to zero alcohol, zero dairy, and all ruminant meat. I think in the last 45 days, I've had a breakfast once with eggs and bacon. That's my cheat. And I've had butter, but I instantly lost 14 pounds in the next 30 days, and my love handle's gone. Like I just tapered down. It's fantastic. But all my pants started falling off, so I had to switch. My belts were useless, so I switched. So in the Army, we have what's called a rigger's belt, and a rigger's belt has Velcro. Anyone been in the service, you'll know this. Rigger's belt has Velcro on it, so you can keep tightening it down. Because when you're in the field and you're sweating all this weight off, for weeks, wearing all the gear, you lose weight. I mean, so you can't have belt notches. You have to have a rigger's belt so you can keep tightening your pants so they don't fall off you when you're in the field. And so luckily I still had this belt. So I whipped it out, and all my other belts are gone now. It's the only belt I'm using for now. It's a web Velcro belt. But I'm still having to tighten it, right? And I've been 236 for a while now. So it's pretty awesome, but I'm still getting in better shape even though I'm 236. And like I said, I think I'm going to keep going down until I'm about 225 to 230, which is my college weight, which at 57 years old is ridiculous. I mean, I'm feeling strong. I'm building muscle again. It's amazing. So anyway, I think that's where my body's headed, and I'm along for the ride, and I'm pretty happy about it. So anyway, yeah, that's all I got on that. I think I might have lost train of what I was talking about, but anyway, anyone else have any questions? If not, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's 8:06. We've done an hour. It's been a great talk, guys. Check out the ice cream machine, or check out the my YouTube affiliate links if you want, or the diet planning guide. Like I said, you can buy it for $1 if you want, just so you have a copy. And I don't care if you share it to other people for free. It doesn't really matter. It's just the only way I could really get it on the web page and have it published was it costs $1. So I'm 59, and let's see. Oh, Purebred 59, and can still outstock just about everyone at Costco. Glory to God. Oh, that's right. You work at Costco. So I have a question for you, because I've heard this, and maybe I put it out last video and you said you were going to check that if you get to Costco early in the morning, any meats that are set to expire go on sale. Is that right? I've only gone a couple times and I haven't found anything that was set to expire on sale, but I'm just curious. If you don't know that, if you could let me know. Stocking keeps you young. Yeah, it keeps you busy too, right? For sure. You want to keep active. That's a great job, is stocking. So anyway, Purebred, if you can answer that when you get a chance, or later in a comment. If you're not watching this video live, drop comments down there and questions. I will definitely answer them as I get them. So anyway, that's all I got today, guys. All I got to say is stay strong and overcome. Oh, let's see. Yes, I believe it's true if the date's about to expire. So that's a little tip. It might happen at Sam's too, because I don't know what they would do with the meat if it's about to expire, except for mark it down. But you have to get there early, from understanding. A lot of the people will get there early and look for that. So I went straight back the 2 times I went, and I didn't see it, but that might have just been off days. So I'm going to start going more regular and try to catch the deals on some meat. So yeah, so that's all I got today, guys. Stay strong and overcome. Carnivore Soldier out.